I'm Merely Caruso. It's Wednesday, November 12th. Today, transit crackdown. Fighting fare evasion. How many people the city prevented from hopping on the bus for free. Also today.
We're doubling down on our commitment to Manitoba as the heart of our global business.
A business infusion. How an American company is being gobbled up by a Winnipeg-based business. Plus, no cause for alarm, while you may see a big increase in the military's presence here in the city. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. For years now, transit drivers have been concerned about people not paying for their fares on Winnipeg transit buses. They feel it can lead to disputes and assaults on operators. A couple of months ago, the city began stepping up its enforcement efforts, and now we're getting some fresh insight into the impact this increased fare enforcement is having. Standing by live to explain is CTV's Taylor Brock. So Taylor, what is the outcome?
Well, Merely, the city says that thousands of people were denied rides and hundreds paid up. In September, the city began expanding fare enforcement, with the safety teams increasing the number of fare checks on transit buses. Since then, the city says transit inspectors have performed over 6,800 fare checks. It also says safety officers have spent more than 1,400 hours enforcing issues on transit buses. Altogether, the city says the measures resulted in nearly 5,000 instances of people being denied rides. More than 2,670 people walked away even before being prompted to pay, and over 930 warnings were issued. The city also says 359 riders paid after being asked. In a statement, Mayor Scott Gillingham says transit fare enforcement keeps the system fair for paying riders. Gillingham also says fare enforcement helps ensure transit has the funds for additional service improvements. Winnipeg Transit estimates it loses between $7 and $10 million every year because of fare evasion.
Taylor, is anything else being done to limit fare evasion?
Well, Merely, the city says Winnipeg Transit is launching a fare education campaign in the coming weeks. This will include advertisements on benches and buses, encouraging passengers to be aware of the fares. CTV's Jeff Keel is working on the story. It'll have a reaction from transit drivers coming up in the next hour.
All right, thanks for this, Taylor. Mounties are asking for your help as they investigate another arson at a business in southern Manitoba. This time, though, the arsonist was successful. 2 weeks ago, we told you RCMP were investigating after someone drove a forklift loaded with jerry cans filled with diesel fuel through a door of a business and attempted to set it on fire. This happened back on October 10th at a property on Road 6 West in the RM of Morris. That's near Low Farm. RCMP were called back to that property early Friday morning, and the same building was engulfed in flames. Investigators believe it was deliberate, and anyone with information is asked to contact Morris RCMP or Crime Stoppers. A 22-year-old man from the RM of Stanley is dead after a fatal rollover yesterday. It happened around 6:45 Tuesday morning. The vehicle rolled over on the Highway 14 between Road 19 and 20 West. When officers arrived, they were met by the Winkler Fire Department, who told them the driver had died. An investigation determined the man was driving a truck eastbound on Highway 14 when it slid into the oncoming lane. The truck then veered back before striking multiple trees and rolling into the ditch on the south side of the road. The man was the sole occupant of the vehicle and was found outside of the truck. A Winnipeg-based company is moving some of its operations from the U.S. to Winnipeg.
We made a deliberate choice to bring these jobs home because we see Manitoba as a strategic advantage. Its combination of skilled, hard-working talent pool, a business-friendly environment, and more affordable cost structures allows us to remain globally competitive.
Dua Color Services, a leading manufacturer of color sampling tools such as paint swatches, recently acquired one of its largest U.S.-based competitors. It says the move will create 94 new jobs in the province and new training for 42 existing employees. The provincial and federal governments are contributing a combined $159,000 to help the company with its plans.
Now, this investment helps to focus on the growth of Manitoba businesses. People gaining new skills, people investing in their strengths in innovation, in new technologies, and in manufacturing.
The funds come through the Canada-Manitoba Labour Market Transfer Agreement. The federal government is looking for housing developers for the Noweo Dana project in West Winnipeg. Ottawa has issued a request for qualifications as it looks to speed up construction of 320 units at the site along Kenaston Boulevard. It envisions a mix of unit sizes and buildings between 2 and 10 stories tall. The feds are now looking for design build teams for the project with preference. A chance encounter Monday led police to arrest a man in connection to a months-long string of thefts at Polo Park Mall. Police came across a man suffering a medical episode while at an unrelated call at a home in the 200 block of Furby Street. They soon realized he had 9 outstanding arrest warrants and was allegedly behind several thefts at the mall between May and October. The total value of the pilfered goods was in excess of $20,000. A 23-year-old man is now facing nearly 30 charges, mostly for thefts under $5,000, along with identity fraud and failure to comply. Well, don't panic if you see heightened military activity around 17 Wing tomorrow. Military officials are holding an emergency response exercise at the site. Starting at 8 a.m., the base-wide emergency will conduct a simulation of a natural disaster. We're told military and civilian emergency vehicles will be coming and going from the base, and people with simulated injuries will be part of this exercise. It's all part of ongoing efforts to maintain readiness. The exercise is expected to run until 8 p.m. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your sunny Skywatch forecast. Colleen, not too bad out there at all tonight.
The hardest part of my job today, Marilee, was selecting photos after being inundated, thankfully so, by viewers sending in photos of the Aurora Borealis. So thank you to everybody. We can only pick so many, but if you want to head to our website, we have all kinds of coverage of the Aurora Borealis. But the night ahead, well, it looks like there's a pretty good chance you might be able to see them again. Take a look at this. Pretty clear skies across much of southern Manitoba, really all of the south, central, and even parts of the north pretty clear tonight, also into northwestern Ontario. So we'll have more details on that. And then, of course, a look ahead to these soaring temperatures. They're going to get even warmer. We have the parade coming up, the Santa Claus parade, and, of course, the Grey Cup and all the events surrounding that. So I'll have a look at temperatures for all of those events. Let's take a look right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, it is 1 degree, just a few clouds at most. Pretty clear, actually. Light winds out of the west. The pressure's rising and the humidity is 72%. Out in traffic on this Wednesday afternoon, a live look out onto the St. James Bridge. Busy in both directions, but especially so for those folks heading southbound.
I thought for sure that maybe the decimal place was in the wrong spot.
An expensive repair. You won't believe how much it costs to get the sunroof fixed on certain vehicles.
%30 fewer Canadians made the drive across the border last month compared to October of 2024. It is the 10th straight month of lower border traffic. Canadians started turning away from those car trips a month after the U.S. president was elected. The number of Canadians flying to the U.S. also dropped last month by 24%. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up a fraction to 71.43. West Texas Intermediate crude is down over $2.50 to 58.49. Western Canadian Select is up almost $1 to 49.25. And the TSX gained 418 points for a new record close of 30,827. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
A vehicle's sunroof can be very enjoyable on a nice day, but what happens if it breaks? As CTV's Pat Foran shows you, they can be extremely expensive to repair, as expensive as a new car.
Sunroofs are a luxury option, and over the years they have gotten bigger and bigger. Mark Hiltz of Newmarket owns a 2020 Toyota Camry and says last month the sunroof malfunctioned.
My wife was out with the vehicle and it was a nice day, opened the sunroof, then got home, proceeded to try and close it. It wouldn't close.
Hiltz took the car to a Toyota dealership and the sunroof was given an inspection.
It has bound up. It looks like got an issue here binding up on the driver's side. So what happens in that case? It actually twists the frame of the glass. This headliner has to come out, and it's basically the whole roof that gets replaced.
Hiltz was told to replace the frame and related parts would be just over $22,500.
I thought for sure that maybe the decimal place was in the wrong spot. If a sunroof is $22,000, like I said, a motor or a transmission must be double that.
Instead of paying the massive bill, the dealer said they could seal the sunroof shut at a cost of almost $600.
They disconnected the power to it, and it's sealed shut, and now we can't use it.
The panoramic glass on the 2020 Camry does take up most of the roof, and a spokesperson for Toyota Canada told CTV News it suffered a deformation of the frame of the panoramic sunroof assembly caused by an external factor. The cost reflects the size of the unit and the complexity of the replacement procedure. Newer panoramic sunroofs are complex and have many moving parts, which can make them more expensive to repair. Hiltz says he just can't believe it costs over $22,000 to fix it.
This is just a piece of glass that opens. How can it cost that much for a sunroof?
Pat Foran, CTV News.
A unique collaboration when the WSO will bring the music of Phil Collins to life.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids. Spotlight sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Serena Ryder, the Merry Myths Tour.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and the WSO has an upcoming show that is about to draw you in with an invisible touch.
This sounds fantastic. This weekend, the orchestra will be performing the music of Phil Collins and Genesis. You see what we did there. Prepare yourself for a unique experience at Centennial Concert Hall Saturday. The orchestra will be joined by rock band Gravel Museum Music and the Horizon Choir to bring the iconic band's songs to life. They'll perform hits such as In the Air Tonight, Against All Odds, and Invisible Touch, reimagined for a full symphony orchestra.
Oh, such good songs. That's going to be a great show.
It really will be. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds even better, too.
Also amazing, slightly different though, Colleen, is this next show. It involves a lot of puppets that will be taking a stage in Winnipeg.
It sure does. It will. The show will make a significant milestone too. I'll be marking one. How about that? I'm going to get this train back on the track, folks, starting right now. The annual Winnipeg Puppet Slam is returning on November 23rd to Gas Station Arts Centre. The Live Puppet Theatre is celebrating its 15th year, showcasing works of puppetry for adults by local and international performers. This year's performers include a full-body puppet dance troupe. That's right, renowned marionettist S.T. Taylor, and an aerial performance. That should be interesting. Showtime is at 7:30 p.m. with admission at the door.
Prairie Theatre Exchange's latest play is going to take you from Kenya all the way to London.
It's called Serving Elizabeth, and the story follows two women whose lives are connected in surprising ways.
Let me think for a minute.
Mr. Talbot! What?
Well,
Mama?
Now, the show has two timelines, one beginning in Kenya back in 1952. There, a restaurant owner named Mercy is hired to cater a dinner for Princess Elizabeth, the future queen. At the same time, a young Kenyan-born Canadian in 2015 is working on a TV drama about the British royal family. In Serving Elizabeth, these two worlds come together in a contemporary drama that will keep you guessing. For more details on the show and to buy tickets, go to pte.mb.ca.
A popular animated series is making a comeback.
We're getting a sneak peek at the installment of Toy Story.
Bonnie, there's a package for you.
with some in excess for mums and dads, too. This is the first teaser trailer for Toy Story 5. The main toys are back and aghast that the new toy is joining the cast. This installment of the series is about a young girl named Bonnie who becomes enamored with her new favorite toy, a tablet called Lily Pad.
Oh, the horror, Colleen.
I know. Can you even? Toy Story 5 is due in theaters on June 19th.
Technology ruined the toys.
Sure did. Got to them, too.
Speaking of sequels, we are getting a follow-up to a movie which created an iconic character for Meryl Streep.
Yes, The Devil Wears Prada 2 is on the way, and today we're getting our first look at the movie. This is a teaser trailer for The Devil Wears Prada 2, coming nearly 20 years after the iconic original. It's bringing back the cast for the sequel. Now, that includes, of course, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci. The Devil Wears Prada 2 is set to hit theaters next summer. Well, I guess a little bit before the summer. Technically on May 1st.
I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, I'm excited about this too.
All right, thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Beat the Midweek Blues with some great entertainment starting at 7 with The Floor. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is on at 8. The Amazing Race follows at 8:30. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
CTV Primetime Lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
A live look at Main Street at Broadway, busy there. I will have your full forecast coming up. There's so many things to do outdoors. Thank goodness the forecast will be cooperating. I'll show you by how much coming right up.
Magical sights and sounds are coming to downtown Winnipeg. It's time for the Manitoba Hydro Santa Claus Parade. Stream it live November 15th at 5 p.m. on ctvwinnipeg.ca. Brought to you by Manitoba Hydro.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Get ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then Christmas. They are all around the corner. But affording all of those could be a challenge for some Canadians this year. A new survey by a company dealing with bankruptcies suggests Canadians are preparing for a more modest Christmas this year. Nearly 72% of more than 1,800 Canadians surveyed say they'll cut back on Christmas spending. More than half of those polled also reported feeling financially unprepared for the holidays.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, we can talk about Christmas all we want, but it sure doesn't feel like that outside, Colleen.
No, my goodness, this is a little discombobulating in the best way with all these temperatures so far above normal. But just wait, as nice as it was today, and it will be a lot like this tomorrow. Friday, out of this world, these temperatures, just really impressive temperatures for mid-November. Grey Cup, though, I'll just say at this point, temperatures will be back closer to normal, but still not too bad for mid well, pushing into the early part of late November. Well, I won't say late November just yet. Let's stick with mid-November, shall we? The night ahead, clear skies for the most part, winds coming straight out of the west right now. You can see the arrows not moving too quickly. That tells you the winds are a lot lighter than they were yesterday. So it's looking pretty good for another showing of the Aurora Borealis tonight if you have the opportunity to get out and take a look at the sky. Further to the east, same thing for northwestern Ontario. The winds start to speed up a little bit, as you can see there. Up in the north, though, a bit more of an unsettled weather pattern. Not really wild weather, to be sure, but all manner of precipitation today, with temperatures getting up above freezing. Rain, snow, both light, a little bit of a drizzle as well, flurries. As we get into the overnight hours, though, that starts to push off more into the northeast, down into northern Ontario, in behind cloudy in the northwest, clear through most of central and certainly all of southern Manitoba overnight tonight, taking us into a very sunny Thursday. Now, there will be a ridge of high pressure building over Manitoba. That will help to keep conditions even more stable than they really already are. More areas will see sunshine across Manitoba and northwestern Ontario as we get into tomorrow afternoon. By tomorrow evening, though, you can see this band of snow moving into northern Manitoba in the northwest, stretching down right into the Interlake, and the leading edge of that tail there. It looks like there'll be a little bit of rain associated with that, and that band sort of just lifts slightly through central and into northern parts of the province overnight and into Friday. But really on the southern edge, look out for freezing rain there. That could be slick in those those areas. Meanwhile, down here in the south, we're just shooting up in the double digits. Really high temperatures for this time of year. That pretty much goes without saying. For tonight, we drop down to -3, mostly clear. Winds out of the west at 20, gusting to 40. Tomorrow, back up to 6 degrees in the sunshine, mostly sunny. Light winds out of the southeast at 10 kilometers an hour. Again, it is November. 11 degrees our forecast high for Friday. We'll be getting a little cloudier in the afternoon, but tomorrow, Thursday, and then Friday, we have a lot of outdoor activities as part of that Grey Cup Festival in downtown Winnipeg. Then we have the Santa Claus Parade on Saturday. Sunny during the day, 2 degrees, but still bundle up. The sun will have set by the time the parade starts. 2 for Grey Cup Sunday as well in the sunshine, and then similar temperatures into next week. Not too bad at all. Our first weather photo is, of course, of the Aurora Borealis. This is Holly's perspective, looking up at them from Winnipeg Beach in the Interlake. And this is Joanna's take. This is from Alexander, Manitoba. That's just west of Brandon. Send us your weather photos, Aurora Borealis and all, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
November 12th is a pretty significant day for us here at CTV Winnipeg. You could say it's our birthday, and it's a memorable one.
It's now my pleasure to declare this station officially open.
Just like that, 65 years ago today, CTV Winnipeg, then known as CJ, hit the air for the first time. The station first hit the airwaves on November 12, 1960 at 5 p.m. at our Polo Park location. So kind of like this newscast you're watching right now, just 65 years ago. Yeah. It joined the newly formed CTV network the following year. Some of the CTV Winnipeg's most iconic shows over the years include, of course, Skittlebits, a noon-hour kids show that aired in the 1980s when the station was known as CKY, as well as Archie and Friends. CTV Winnipeg moved to our current downtown facility where you see us broadcasting from every night in 2006. Did you recognize some of your favorite shows, Colleen?
Well, Let's Go. We can't forget Let's Go. My sister was on Let's Go.
I was going to say, yeah.
And that weather anchor, he has some flair. I should try what he was doing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back at 6 with more news.